shamba mamba, tukunje ngome, tusonge mbele. Oh, hakuna mwingine mama, hakuna mwingine. Oh, hakuna mwingine mama, hakuna mwingine. Baba Yoweri, hiyo yo. Baba Yoweri, hiyo yo. Oh, siasa, oh siasa we, oh siasa nzuri, oh vitendo ya wa. Oh, ni nzuri sana. Oh, endeleye. Oh, Museveni. Oh, Museveni we. Oh, Museveni kaguta. Oh, kazi zake. Oh, ni nzuri sana. Vitendo yenyo. 1, 2, 3 zimata.
DJ anthems. Standing for the blessing of this occasion.
The prayer is going to be led by Reverend Richardson Balinda, head teacher, Nyakasura School. Let us humble ourselves and pray. Dear Lord, on this pass-out day of patriotism training of head teachers for secondary schools from Greater Western Region, MUBENDE and KASANDA districts, on this 3rd February 2024 at the National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi, I, your servant, Reverend Balinda Richardson, worship and exalt your holy name with all my heart as the most powerful, glorious, splendid, majestic, owner and governor of everything in heaven and earth, as your servant Moses says in 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 11. Together as a congregation, we recognize you as the first greatest teacher of patriotism, as we read in your word, Matthew 22:39, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And as St. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 to 8, that without love, all other things are of no great value. We also thank you for the great vision you gave to our most loved President, His Excellency General Kaguta Yoweri Museveni, especially in the current transformation pillars of developing our country. That is patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. It is true that the young ones will see and realize the fruits thereof, as Prophet Joel says in chapter 2, verse 28. I sincerely stand in the hearts of many of us here today to truly confess that we came with partial truth and dimness of vision, as St. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 9 to 12. But now we are going back fully loaded with absolute truth, to join our president and his entire team in the heavy burden on his head to transform the mindset of the hundreds and thousands of people entrusted to us, as Jethro advised Moses in Exodus chapter 18, verse 19 to 24, to champion the cause. Thank you, Lord, for our mother ministry of education and sports, under the wise, humble, and Holy Spirit-filled leadership of Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, who is like the wise woman King Solomon describes in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 29 to 31. She has been a great blessing to this country in general, and in particular to the education sector. Continue blessing her. Our loving God, we don't have enough words to describe our appreciation for the commitment of the Commissioner of Patriotism, Madam Helen Seku, and her entire team, the NALI leadership, the best trainers and facilitators. Most graceful Lord, bless them mightily and expand the vision and mission of patriotism in this country. We commit this academic year of our schools and our country in your able hands for peace and prosperity. Accept our resolved commitment to implement the lessons learned in this training and support us holistically. Let this day be a great day filled with happiness, as your servant Solomon says in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 8, that the end of an undertaking is always better than its beginning. I make this prayer in the mighty name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. And may the blessing of God Almighty, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit be upon you, remain with you, now and always. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend. Ladies and gentlemen, our awaited guests are in the house. May we welcome them with an applause. Karibu sana! Yongeza tena! Ya mwisho sasa! Thank you. Your Excellency, allow me to take you through the program as brief as it is. We shall have an entertainment by one of your Zukulu called Princess Melissa Namjuzi. And we shall have the reading of the memorandum by Aguo Christine, head teacher, Nyarukoma SS Chenjojo. We shall have remarks by the Commissioner, Patriotism, myself. We shall have remarks by the Director of NALI, that is none other than Brigadier General Dr. Charles Kisembo. We shall have remarks by Honorable Minister Mile Babalanda, Minister for Presidency. Then in return, she shall welcome Mama to give her remarks and lecture. Then Mama shall invite you, Jaja, to talk to these head teachers with your words of wisdom and guidance. And we shall have anthems in reverse order. After the anthems, we shall have a photo of opportunity in our companies. There are 4 companies, and then the last photo shall be for the staff, invited guests, and NALI staff. That is how our program is. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, permit me also to introduce to you our invited guests tonight. In the house, we have the Minister for Presidency, Honorable Mile Babalanda, with us. Karibu sana. We also have the PS for Minister of the Presidency, Haji Yunus Kakande, who has just recovered from treatment. We thank God for his life. We have Engineer Raymond Kamjusha, Director, Presidential Projects and Industrial Hubs Initiative. We have the RDC of Chankwanzi, Ms. Sharon Akankunda. We have the LOC5 of this place, Dr. Mpuga John. We have the DPC of this place, SSP YV Philbert. We have the DEO of this place, Mr. Kabukuba Ibrahim. We have the Secretary for Education, Chankwanzi, Mr. Twesje Ibra. We have the LOC1 hosting us, Mr. Sabit William. We have Mr. Musingo Moses, Assistant Commissioner, Secondary Education from the Ministry of Education, representing the PS of Education. We have the DC of this place, Lieutenant Dennis Katumba. And we have also our brothers from the MK movement, Ambassador Katunji Michael, Brother Baram Barugahare, and Frank Gashumba, who have also come to learn more about patriotism and preach the right gospel to the public. And also know in advance that the dams are so many, so the generator may never start. Thank you, my elder brothers, for coming. I'm really humbled. At this juncture, allow me to invite Princess Melissa to welcome Jaja with a warm welcome and entertainment. We should all shake to our best to really show Jaja that we are happy. Melissa, come and give us your best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Princess Melissa, Zenjagala Sevo, Jaja Sevo, Agila Sevo, Jaja Sevo, NRMOE, Jajam Sevenoe. Okay, it's nice to meet you, Jaja Mami and Jaja Mchala. This is Namju's Melissa Princess, known as Princess Melissa. I'm the one whom you met last time. from Magele, Senior 4 at Light College at Kamu, that is located at Masulita. So I'm going to give you 2 songs, but let's start with Jajoli Muzira. Yes. Then we shall go to Jaja Twangere.
Eno ye tale mulisa, Princess Melissa. Abagala bagera entasima yebula kikwatirako. Kale kusano simiwe kuwewe byokoze birabikako. Bajjaja era tuyumisa yona Uganda jevote. Olabanga waliwo enjawulo bintu bingi ebitaliwo mbuli obudde. Era se bwekyo nesoboddeyo lw'abazzukulu bamatuusa bonjazikeko. Wano Uganda wetuuse obadde wakiza omubiri gwo guliyeebo. Osaanira ofuna omudaala oli muzira, kyo kituufu oli muzira. Yonna Uganda gy'ogijje na wano wetuuse osaanira obuzira. Jjajja oli muzira, kyo kituufu oli muzira. Ku by'okoze Uganda yandibadde waawe bale osaanira okuyitibwa omuzira. Indeed you are a hero, you are a superhero. A blessing from above, kubyokoledde kwange kirabo sanyi kya buzira. Economy gikyusisa, ddala ogiyongeza. Ebisigo bikonseza, Uganda yeeyagaza amazima ogikyusisa. Balansisa agenda tukiraba ku kabineti y'abakyala balina kye bagamba. Security ogikutteko, emirembe tulina era abato tulaba gye tugenda. Amalwaliro gazimbye, ebyobulamu obifuddeko, endwadde nnyingi zigenze. N'amasomero gataddewo ebyenjigiriza ng'obifuddeko ffe twesiimye. Okoze n'enguudo n'amasannyalaze kati gabunye ebyalo. Obutale obutaddewo bamama baffe bakola, ekikumi bafuna ku lwekyo osaanira ofuna omudaala oli muzira. Kyo kituufu oli muzira. Yonna Uganda gy'ogijje na wano wetuuse osaanira obuzira. Jjajja oli muzira, kyo kituufu oli muzira. Ku by'okoze Uganda yandibadde waawe bale osaanira okuyitibwa omuzira. You are a hero, you are a superhero. A blessing from above, kubyokoledde kwange kirabo sanyi kya buzira.
Princess Melissa, nze njagala sebo, jjajja sebo, bagira sebo, jjajja sebo, NRM oye, jjajja Museveni oye, NRM oye. Solo on the beat. NRM, everyone sula, jjajja beewo, olina amaanyi okyasula. NRM, everyone sula, jjajja beewo, olina amaanyi okyasula. Jjajja twongereyo, 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 mu maaso twongereyo, twongereyo, twongereyo. NRM ekoze bulungi eggwanga Uganda. Enkulaakulana nnyingi lwakuba ggwe jjajja. Omwagala bangi nkuyita Ssabalwanyi. Watuwonya entalo n'oleeta emirembe. Ne bwe twebaka totweraliikirira. Waleeta UPE omwana w'omunaku nasoma. Amasomero malungi, amakubo malungi, ebyobulamu birungi. Mu butuufu tunyumirwa. Oyagadde nnyo eggwanga Uganda. Ebyobuwangwa obikuumye jjajja. Uganda bunyoro busoga jjolo basima. Ffe abasiko tukwetera darling jjajja. NRM ebewasula, jjajja beewo, olina amaanyi okyasula. NRM ebewasula, Jajja twongereyo, twongereyo, twongereyo. Mu maaso twongereyo, twongereyo, twongereyo. Weebale nnyo abavubuka tulese ku mwanjo. Mu bifo eby'enkizo mu ggwanga tujjuddeyo. Ebyenfuna by'eggwanga obitutadde mu ngalo. Ffe twalonda ggwe Jjajja Sevo. Abagala Jjajja muliwa? Muwage muliwa? Abagala Jjajja muliwa? Abagala Jjajja emikono waggulu. Abagala NRM mu mikono jju. Ngambye abagala Jjajja emikono waggulu. Abagala NRM mu mikono jju. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Tuli bana aba yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Tuli bana aba Jjajja. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Mulembe gwa yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Tuli bana aba yellow. Tugenda naawe Jjajja, olina stamina. Tukyali naawe Jjajja, tova ku maini. NRM ebewasula. Jjajja obeewo, olina amaanyi okyasula. NRM ebewasula. Jjajja obeewo, olina amaanyi okyasula. Jjajja twongereyo, twongereyo, twongereyo. Mu maaso twongereyo, twongereyo, twongereyo. Jjajja twongereyo, twongereyo, twongereyo. Mu maaso twongereyo, twongereyo, twongereyo.
Thank you very much, Princess Melissa Namjuzi. Kyekyo abavubuka tuli ku mwanjo. Jjajja weebale ebifo eby'enkizo obituwadde. What a say! Jjajja alina stamina. And Jjajja tova ku maini. Keeko. At this juncture, allow me invite Head Teacher Aguyo to come and read the memorandum.
Your Excellency, my name is Christine Aguo, Head Teacher, Nyarukoma Secondary School, Chenjojo District. Your Excellency, I'm one of the beneficiaries of Patriotism, Peace and Stability of Uganda, and they gave me another name because of my service in another area of Uganda. Nyo empake yange na kiki, bampaire empako. I'm going to read for you a memorandum that the trainees have brought forward. Memorandum by Western Uganda, MUBENDE, KASANDA Secondary School Head Teachers, KASANDA Secondary School Head Teachers at a training retreat for patriotism at NALI, Kyankwanzi, starting on 21st January to date 3rd, 2024. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the First Lady and Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, Honorable members and ministers, Honorable members of Parliament present, Head of Patriotism, the Director NALI, invited guests, all participants, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, thank you for coming to share with us your parental wisdom and guidance. we congratulate you on being elected chairperson of the Non-Aligned Movement, NAM, and the G77 plus China. Asante sana. We welcome Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, for attending our pass out. We thank you, Mama, for your patriotic service to this country. As participants, we express appreciation to Ms. Helen Seku, the Commissioner and the entire National Secretariat of Patriotism Corps, and the staff, and for organizing this enriching training. We thank NALI Director Brigadier General Dr. Charles Kisembo and staff for hosting and teaching distinguished leaders of this country, such as Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable Secretary General NRM, the Right Honorable Minister of Presidency, Mile Babalanda, Right Honorable Lieutenant General Peter Elwelu, Honorable Major General Henry Masiko, Honorable Major General Sam Kavuma, Honorable Brigadier General Charity Bainawabo, Brigadier General Henry Isoke, Brigadier General Dr. Charles Kisembo, Brigadier General Fels Kulaye, and the PS, Minister of Education and Sports, among many other patriots. Your Excellency, in the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 7, an iron sharpens iron, and so one person sharpens another. They have sharpened us. From this training, we noted that NRM government has defended and promoted well the right ideology to ensure democracy, patriotism, Pan-Africanism, and socioeconomic transformation. Your Excellency, thank you for considering us for this transformative training. Your Excellency, we have collectively come up with the following views. Unanimously agreed to take the message of patriotism to our schools and communities to promote positive attitude to enhance unity and development in our country. Secondly, we give unwavering support to the NRM government and mobilize the Vazukulu to follow the right way to ensure uninterrupted progress that our country is proud of and enjoying. To promote unity by encouraging the youth to overcome social barriers of tribalism, ethnicity, or religion, and focus on nationalism and socio-economic transformation. The other is to strengthen patriotism-related programs in schools to enhance discipline and productivity among learners and other communities, to ensure that students learn appropriate skills as underscored in the revised lower secondary school curriculum, so as to produce quality citizens that will serve to transform our country to the desired development. That the values of patriotism, hard work, sacrifice, integrity, loyalty be inculcated in the learners to produce reliable and honest citizens who will continue to work for prosperity. We also agreed that to ensure proper accountability and transparency in our institution and support government efforts to fight corruption. Your Excellency, the participants appreciate your initiation of Parish Development Model, PDM, to cause socioeconomic transformation at local level. The teachers play a central role in enhancing the program. Therefore, find a way to facilitate them to be innovative and encourage fellow citizens to exploit Uganda's natural resources for my financial prosperity and socioeconomic growth to attain Vision 2040. Your Excellency, the participants equally appreciate the adoption and implementation of the revised lower secondary school curriculum since 2021. It is our view that this will significantly enhance the realization of Uganda education system as an effective tool for socioeconomic transformation through skills development. Your Excellency, the trainers here have requests to put forth. Your Excellency, participants unanimously observed that patriotism training is the real solution to Ugandan's problem. Therefore, we hereby propose the following views. First and foremost, we request for more training of teachers for the National Curriculum Development Center, that is NCDC, and the Ministry of Education and Sports to empower the teachers to ensure the success of the curriculum as we prepare for the advanced level in 2025, so as to nurture a holistic citizen in the transformation of Uganda. We appreciate the provision of instructional materials to kickstart the revised curriculum and request that more be given to all schools in form of ICT, science laboratory equipment, and textbooks. Your Excellency, the participants appreciate your support of patriotism with uniform and literature to our schools. We request for more uniforms and literature for students to boost morale training and other patriotism activities. Your Excellency, we suggest that patriotism training be extended to all public servants and religious leaders. Also, as the saying goes, akati keinikwa kakiri kavisi, literally interpreted as, translated as, the small sticks, the young stick cannot be bent when it is still young. Beg your pardon. Yes, akati kainekwa kakiri kavisi. We've understood. So the same patriotism training be extended to the primary school department for ideological orientation to help primary school leaders and pupils appreciate their country at their early stages of development. Your Excellency, to ensure quality patriotic civil servants for the present and future Uganda, we propose that patriotism budget be increased to widen the scope of training to include national service program to enable the youth of the school know and serve their country effectively, diligently, without corruption and other vices. Your Excellency, the participants also pleased and were saying, with the support given to some RDCs and RCCs in this promotion of patriotism in schools, it is our humble prayer that all the RDCs, RCCs receive this training to empower them support this noble cause. Your Excellency, thank you for the recent recruitment and deployment of staff into schools in this country. However, some schools have failed to get newly posted staff due to the inadequate wage bill at the local government. It is therefore our humble request that this matter be addressed to enable schools receive more staff to handle the rising number of learners. Your Excellency, secondary schools education is one of the services that utilizes private-public partnership, PPP, with over 60% schools owned by the private sector. This, in mind, implies that most youth attend secondary school education in privately owned schools. Your Excellency, the private schools do appreciate the provision of instructional materials in the recent years and humbly request that more support in terms of ICT, science laboratory equipment, electricity, and more textbooks be extended to them as they continue to partner with the government in the provision of education for the young generation. The participants are thankful to the government for the newly constructed seed and community schools across the country. There is rise in the enrollment of learners that demands for urgent expansion of infrastructure in schools to boost their capacity to accommodate the big number of learners for a conducive and effective learning environment. Your Excellency, it is our humble prayer that the universal secondary education, the universal post-O-level education and training, and non-use and UPOLET schools would receive more facilities, especially classrooms. Head teachers appreciate the enhancement of salaries for head teachers, deputy head teachers, all teachers of science subjects. It is a remarkable step that has inspired the head teachers, deputy head teachers, and the teachers of art subjects to patriotically keep on right professional track as you continue to plan for them. Participants appreciate the timely payment of capitation grants to use or UPOLET schools. The local government have done a good job in crediting the school accounts on time. We request for increment in funding so as to enable schools cope with the rising costs for more effective teaching and learning. Your Excellency, in conclusion, we would like to affirm that our experience, our study of Uganda political history, and our thorough training at NALI are sufficient for us to tell right or wrong and to discern ideology and from biology. Long live Uganda, long live Your Excellency, long live most cherished President, prepared by all the participants and trainees of this school NALI. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Head Teacher, for that brief memorandum. Your Excellency, allow me to introduce my co-MC, Major Daniel Watasa Maseda, who's the head of faculty in this great institution. Allow me also introduce the National Patriotism Secretariat staff and the Mighty Youth. Stand up for recognition. Your Excellency, Yeyo Ameyo Yewampa. Your Excellency, at this juncture, allow me give my remarks. Then in return, I shall invite others. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and the patron for patriotism clubs in Uganda, Mama, the Honorable First Lady, Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Minister for Presidency, the PS, Minister of Presidency, Director NALI, all gallant officers and men from Uganda People's Defense Forces, Patriotism Secretariat staff, all invited guest participants, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I humbly welcome you, sir, together with the Mama, to this occasion. On behalf of the National Secretariat for Patriotism Clubs, allow me to thank Your Excellency and Mama for finding time amidst your busy schedule to come and interact with the head teachers present here today. Thank you all invited guests for accepting to grace this function at NALI and be part of my first pass out as a Commissioner of Patriotism. We thank the Almighty God who has enabled this day to come. Jaja and Mama, it is my pleasure to thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve Patriotism Secretariat as a Commissioner for the Patriotism Clubs in Uganda. That means there is negation of the negation. And thank you, Jaja, for fronting the youth everywhere you go. Your Excellency and Mama, before you are 413 secondary head teachers from Greater Western Uganda, a few from the districts of KASANDA and MUBENDE who had missed out last time due to Ebola. Majority of these head teachers double as patriotism coordinators in their various schools. And they are the beneficiaries of the 14 days training that has happened in this place. Jaja, I wish to inform you that this training marks the end of our first phase of the head teachers training countrywide, which you and I started together on 9th August 2022 with Northern Uganda and West Nile, where we got 300 participants, followed by Eastern, where we trained 368 head teachers, followed by Central, where we trained 514 head teachers, then finally Western Region, where we have trained 413 head teachers, though we had programmed for 520, a few didn't turn up for different causes. In total, we have so far trained 1,535 secondary head teachers who are your mighty army and foot soldiers in their various areas and communities. These head teachers have undergone the ideological orientation training, which is very important in the realization of our Vision 2040, while emphasizing the core values of patriotism, discipline, academic excellence, time management, and the fear of God. Jaja, on 14th February 2009, you started the Patriotism Clubs mainly to inculcate norms and values of patriotism to learners through acquisition of knowledge, new skills, and competency. Jaja, to inform you, I was in Senior 6 that time, and I'm a beneficiary of that program, which has groomed me to be what I am today. And after that training, I became a volunteer at the Patriotism Secretariat while at the university in law school. 13 years down the road, you have sent me there to head the same institution as the commissioner. Thank you, Jaja, for the opportunity once again. And thank you for grooming me and granting me the golden opportunity to serve the noble cause, and I promise never to let you down, Jaja and Mama. Mama, we thank you and the entire Ministry of Education and Sports for ensuring that patriotism is part of the new secondary education curriculum. Jaja and Mama, patriotism has now outlived secondary school only, and we pray that it should also be extended to PTCs, NTCs, universities, and communities, and be made compulsory in all institutions, including the public and civil servants, before one acquires a government job, in order to avoid bad vices like corruption, bribery, and being compromised. There is a general observation that teachers pay much attention to academics than producing an all-round learner who is productive and well-disciplined citizen with the right attitude towards self, work, and the country. I wish to thank these head teachers for exhibiting a high sense of discipline for the days we have been here together. You willingly participated in the training, both ideology and parade skills. Keep close to that which you have learned, especially the discipline, the resilience you gained from the parade drills. Keep at your fingertips the patriotism, discipline, values, methods of work, and knowledge. The Bible says in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, "My people have perished due to lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I shall reject you." While in the book of James, chapter 3, verse 1, it is said, "Teachers shall be judged more strictly, for they know more." I commend you, patriots and head teachers, for accepting to embrace knowledge so as to become change makers or agents in your communities. Therefore, fellow patriots, go and spread the gospel of patriotism correctly in your schools and communities so that you are not judged otherwise. Your Excellency and Mama, I wish to report that after the retooling and reorientation of head teachers of Central Region in Uganda, in this same place, they went back and organized trainings in their different schools voluntarily, and we later had a joint pass out of all Kampala schools at Kololo on 16th November 2023, which was mega, and you graced it yourself, which had over 45,000 students from Kampala. And also in the month of December, we were welcomed at Intare School on invitation by Mr. Sol Rampororo, the head teacher, who calls this senior OB, where we trained 1,700 students for the entire school, without senior 1 and senior 5, who were not present at that time, but we promise to go back this year and do the same, and we shall carry out the same spirit in other schools and the cities countrywide, if our budget is enhanced. Your Excellency and Mama, these head teachers here have pledged to do the same in their schools, and I have confidence in them that they shall do so. Your Excellency and Mama, I assure you that through this program, these head teachers have surely inherited and will continue inheriting your revolutionary tradition of patriotism, nationalism, Pan-Africanism, outlook for prosperity and strategic security. The ideologically empowered head teachers, therefore, have no reason to abandon their ally. And I am confident that as defenders of this revolution, they are behind the popular call by the majority of the citizens, as it was already stated by NAM and stipulated by G77 delegates, who have decided to demand for your continued stewardship of this country as head of state. Come 2026, those who are in agreement with me say aye. Aye. The aye have it. Your Excellency, it's an order. You don't refute the order. And I'm the nominator. I still stand as the nominator and the sponsor of His Excellency. So I know he will not let me down. I congratulate you all gallant sons and daughters of the soil upon the completion of a successful 14 days patriotism development training course, and I believe your experience will impact a critical thinking and mindset change of socio-economic transformation. And I take this opportunity to thank the Minister, Office of the President, Honorable Mile Babalanda, the PS Hajunus Kakande, for your continued support, and all the NSPC staff for steering this noble cause. I also want to thank the Director NALI and the entire staff at NALI for hosting us and making us stay comfortable in this great leadership institution which we call home. I thank all facilitators who spare their time to come and share their wisdom and guidance with these participants, like the Vice President, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Secretary General, the PPS to Mama Dr. Irene Kauma, the UPDF Generals, the Commandant Oliver Tambo Kano Rukundo Justice, Director, Presidential Hubs, Engineer Raimondi, Kamjisha, and many more. Thank you for your time and for giving these people words of wisdom. I take this singular honor to also thank my dear elder brothers, the MK movement supporters, who have appreciated that the main line has got so many newly constructed dams, which may not enable the standby generator to start soon. Thank you, Mr. Balambarugahare and Gashumba. Thank you, Mr. Katunji, for coming together, and you accept we work together for the noble cause to ensure that the main line is now charged with the 4-phase voltage, never to go off. I thank Your Excellency and Mama and all the participants for listening. Thank you, Jaja, for always sparing your busy schedule to attend to my cause. Long live Jaja and Mama. Long live Patriotism clubs. The struggle continues for God and my country. I remain your submitted Muzukulu, Seku Helen, Commissioner Patriotism and Private Secretary to HE the President. Asante sana. In brief, Your Excellency, those were my remarks. Your Excellency, at this juncture, allow me to invite another Muzukulu to give you another warm welcome. This Muzukulu is from Masaka, a Muganda who speaks Swahili. He says, mbona jokoni iko Tanzania alafu nyumbani iko Uganda. Tunalala Uganda, tunashinda Tanzania. Your Excellency, I'm going to use Swahili because these head teachers in school, they force us to speak English. Article 6 of the 1995 Constitution as amended states that English is the official language, and Clause 2 says, any other language shall be used as appropriate. I therefore take this singular honor to use Swahili. Your Excellency, the youth before you who is going to entertain you now is the son of your own, Kadogo Ibrahim Nyanzi from Masaka, mwenye alikuwa nayo kwa msituni. Sasa ako na mtoto kijana anakuimbia wimbo, lakini kutoka tangu hajabatika kuimbilia. Anaitwa Nyanzi Ethan aka Young Divyo. Alisema nataka nione Museveni is present today. Young Divyo, come and sing. Kuja uimbie grandfather. Umebatika leo, yani ako hapa. Tena uko mtoto ya askari. Watoto askari wako na talent, usicheze bwana.
Asante sana madam. NALI oye! Baba Yoweri Kaguta Museveni oye! Shujaa oye! Mama Janet Museveni oye! Commissioner Madam Ellen Seku oye!
Younger nephew.
Mama Mile Babalanta oye!
Oh Papa, younger nephew music.
NALI wapi? Natamani nimkute Museveni, nipige magoti, nimpongeze hadharani. Tena Rais wa Jamhuri wa Uganda, mchapakazi achoki kuwa anayepingana. Ametuvusha vikwazo, wewe nani, ona Uganda navyojenga. Flyover inajengwa, daraja pale Nailo, airport imeshajengwa. Acha nikupongeze kwa air za Uganda. Zidi baba nikupongeze kwa Entebbe Express. Otati Museveni chakanye pone, wasopenda wabanwecho. Museveni ndo rais wa ukweli. Mpole mtu wa dini ajachoka, tunashukuru. Amejenga tana mgongo, ona jinsi inavyopendeza. Museveni tupewe nini, vilokufeka vifufua. Karudisha nizamu serikalini, watoto kusoma ni bure. Pili na mshukuru kwa mafuta kule Uima, sasa hivi yanachimbwa. Uganda yetu iko safi. vile vile na mshukuru kwa COVID kutulindaga, wengi wamekufa kutokaga ukoche na mpaka Tanzania. Hata na kushukuru kwa kujenga tama hospital baba, asante tena ndo vile kujenga Uganda ka Dubai. Ile na kushukuru sana Rais Museveni, asante kwa kutulindaga COVID kutokufa. Hata na kula yangu baba vile tena tachukua, na kuombaga vile vile shaka baba tachukua. Acha nikupe akul baba Yoweri Kaguta, jembe letu toka Tungamo, kazi unawezaga. Oh baba basi vile atachukua kula zangu 26, basi huo mwaka wechukua. Hata wote wana Uganda simama imara, ili tuweze kupiapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele. Hata jeno muozi na wasimama imara, ili tuweze kuchapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele. Jeno Salim Saleh na wasimama imara, ili tuweze kuchapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele. Jeno Katumba Wamala na wasimama imara, ili tuweze kuchapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele. Mama Jessica Olupo na wasimama imara, ili tuweze kuchapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele. Hata baba Mauna we simama imara, ili tuweze kuchapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele. Mama Janet Museveni na wasimama imara, ili tuweze kuchapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele. Hata mama Anet Amongi nawe simama imara, ili tuweze kuchapaka Uganda yetu isonge mbele.
Mheshimiwa Rais Amiri Jeshi Mkuu wa Uganda, nina furaha na vigelegele na shangwe leo kukuona mbele hapo ulipokaa na mamangu Janet Museveni Kataha. Mimi ni mjukuu wako Ibrahim Nyanzi Kadogo, ndo babangu mzazi. Mimi naitwa Aithani Nyanzi Kadogo Ibrahim kutoka Masaka Buenda. Babangu ametuacha sisi mimi nikiwa mdogo. Alifariki mwaka 87. Alikuwa na marafiki zake, mmoja wapo alikuwa ni rafiki yangu na rafiki yake na mama yangu mzazi. Alikuwa anaitwa Jita Msoke Kadogo. Sasa kwa maana hiyo, Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nipo hapo huku chini nipo huku chini nafanya kazi za serikali kama mimi mtu binafsi, kwa sababu babangu alitumikia serikali. Na nina furaha, kwanza namshukuru mama yangu huyu Ellen Seku kwa leo kunipa bahati hii kuongea mbele yako. Mheshimiwa Rais, naomba unipe bahati, unipe hata ikiwa saa moja mamangu yule Ellen Seku, na kuomba babangu anilete mengi ya kukuambia babangu, na nikuoneshe na kazi ninazofanya za vijana katika mitaa huko. Japo kuwa uwezo sina, ila najua kwamba mimi ni roho ya nchi. Kwa maana hiyo nasema vijana wengi sana wanakata tamaa kwa sababu ya kuwa wengi wanayopitia, ila tunajaribu kuambia nyinyi kaheni, sisi ni vijana wenzenu.
Asante ndugu yangu Young Divion, nitakupeleka uone jaja, usijali, uko kwa right person. Sasa koma hapo, tuendelee. Wewe uko mtoto ya askari, usijali, utafika kwa jaja. Maombi yake yamefika, najua jaja amekubali. Yes, Your Excellency, That was an entertainment from your Muzukulu. At this juncture, you can hear the youth. Judge, are you feeling the vibe? Four-phase voltage. Akukwatako tumulya mulamba. Tumeketa bumeke skati. Phase ojiwulira vibe ya bivubuka vibe after vibe. Masanyalaze mangi. Bakwateko balabe. Bakwateko jajja bakoleki? Baja tuwulira batwekuulira mu mulago. Masanyalaze kyekyo. Four-phase. Even Jaja will give us a job of Jaja if time is there. Zebayimbanga nga bali eri ne bakadogo bali. Allow me at this juncture invite General Dr. Charles Kisemo to give us his brief remarks in 5 minutes, and after invite Honorable Millie Babalanda to also give us her remarks in 5 minutes, then invite Mama. Thank you, Doctor, and congratulations.
Madam Seko, you are terrible. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, General Y.K. Museveni Tibuhaburwa, retired. The Honorable Minister of Education and Sports and First Lady, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, the Minister for Presidency, Honorable Mile Babalanda, the Permanent Secretary Ministry for the Presidents, Haji Yunus Kakande, the Resident District Commissioner Kyankwanzi, Ms. Sharon Akankunda, the Commissioner National Secretariat of Patriotism Clubs, Ms. Helen Seku, the district leaders in your respective capacities, our guests, NALI fraternity, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, allow me on behalf of NALI and my behalf to welcome you and Mama to this great institution. Your Excellency, today we witness yet another milestone in our effort to enhance ideology and political work among Ugandans. We are happy to say that today another batch of 413 head teachers from Greater Western Uganda is being added onto those Ugandans that have trained in this institute. This is the last batch of head teachers to be trained since you initiated this process. Your Excellency, we are so grateful to you and Mama for always putting at the forefront the need to create an effective human resource base, which is a trigger for Uganda's socio-economic transformation. I also thank the Minister for the Presidency, Honorable Mile Babalanda, for being supportive in every way we have sought her hand. Your Excellency, let me also commend your Muzukulu, Commissioner Helen Seku, for being focused and committed. She's always, this one she said I shouldn't say it in public, Your Excellency, but let me say it. She's always telling me that Muze's tasks needed to be accomplished. All the time, Muze's tasks. She's so committed. And as some of us reach the evenings of our careers, we feel happy and energized when we see the younger generation working with resilience and enthusiasm in the service of their country. Your Excellency, we are aware that our country is struggling to pull down the shackles of imperialism and the unfair structures of globalization, affecting global financial architecture, security, and politics. And this poses a significant challenge to Africa. Therefore, for Uganda to survive and achieve its economic and political independence needs knowledgeable, committed, patriotic, patient, and visionary leaders. Leaders who understand the implications and impact of these global complexities and infringements on our national values and aspirations. Your Excellency, at NALI we are committed to creating such leaders. The course participants got lectures, as you have already heard, from several government officials, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, academicians, UPDF generals, senior officers, to mention the most obvious. The participants during their stay here went through rigorous training and interaction covering the following topics: ideology and patriotism studies, ways of thinking and understanding reality, transformative discipline and revolutionary methods of work, meaning and values of political education, laws of social development and social systems, harnessing resources for empowerment and prosperity through pragmatic leadership, economic geography of Uganda, national guidance, globalization, tips on fighting corruption, roles of head teachers in patriotism development in Uganda, drills and skills at arms, financial literacy, and Swahili, among others. This is a message to my fellow teachers. To my fellow teachers, from our interactions, you have learned that I'm also a teacher. And as teachers, we are the backbone of our country, the pillar upon which all aspirations are converted to realities. The aspirations of the students we teach, in a way, become our aspirations. Every leader, every learner aspires to be great in life, to pursue an enduring and rewarding career, to live better and more meaningful lives. And as teachers, our aspirations are realized when the learners we teach and mold succeed in life. Many of us might have joined the profession because we love the children and truly want to change their lives. There might also be those who chose the career for benefits. Whichever reason, educators change lives, for the better or for worse. If we want to get the best out of those we mentor, let's have time for them. Let us sacrifice for them, and let's make them feel worthy. Let them be heard. Let us be teachers of humans and not schools where those with the required degrees only matter. Together we want to create leaders whom Uganda should be proud of. And I'm sure the knowledge acquired here will help us do that. For God and my country. Let me now take this singular honor to invite the Minister for Presidency, Honorable Mile Babalanda, to give her remarks. Thank you.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Uganda, Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, National Chairperson of the mighty party NRM, our Chief Patriot, and number one pillar in the Uganda's transformation, retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. High Excellency, Mama, and Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Kata Museveni, the PS Office of the President, Haji Yunus Kakande, the Commissioner, Patriotism Secretariat, Office of the President, Mrs. Helen Seku, senior officials from the Ministry of Education and Sports, the Director NALI, the RDC Chankwanzi, all participants, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, sir, I take the opportunity to welcome you and to congratulate all our participants for successfully undertaking the patriotism course here at National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi. Your Excellency, sir, I wish to commend the NRM Party under your leadership for coming up with the 4 core principles of the NRM, which have been the driving force behind the progress of Ugandans and transformation of the economy. Your Excellency, sir, Patriotism is the most important of the four core principles. Everything rotates around this principle. Indeed, you cannot succeed in the other three without patriotism. Patriotism can be promoted singly, but the others cannot succeed without patriotism. Therefore, your efforts at championing patriotism is not a waste of time. You are building a base that will inspire future generations to hold together. Your Excellencies, sir, while some persons may not see the value of the patriotism campaign now, yet in the years to come, they will see its benefits and the fact that you were right. Your Excellency, allow me to once again appreciate you for appointing Commissioner Helen Seku to head the Patriotism Secretariat. She's a well-focused, hard-working, and results-oriented person in whom we have much expectation. I am delighted that Mrs. Seku is already active in the fight against corruption, going by her deep engagement with public officers in the patriotism campaigns. Your Excellency, sir, the government has lost significant resources at the hands of some unpatriotic public officers who divert taxpayers' money for personal gain. The engagement with the public officers will go a long way to fight this vice in our midst. Your Excellency, sir, I congratulate the teachers of Western Uganda who have participated in this training, and it is my prayers that they become patriotism ambassadors in their respective schools in order to promote patriotism amongst fellow staff and the learners. Your Excellency, in Rusoga and Devaganda say, like what the head teachers said, that Akacha Mamamera suggests that if one suffers more growth while still young, the defect may be very difficult to correct when they are adults. Therefore, the patriotism campaign amongst the young people is indeed the wisest thing to do now, because the problems we have today actually originate from the past regimes that did not prioritize patriotism education in the young people of that time. These same people, now adults in public positions, are the ones giving us hard time, stealing and wasting public resources, Your Excellency. As I conclude, sir, allow me also to let you know that the RCCs and their deputies have taken several training of patriotism, at least in every quarter. I thank you for your kind attention, and it's now my honor and privilege to invite Her Excellency Mama, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, to come and address the participants. Thank you, and I congratulate you, the participants, for God and my country.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Babaranda. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, the Honorable Minister for the Presidency, Honorable Babaranda, the Director NALI and your team, Ms. Helen Seku, the Commissioner for Youth Affairs, our participants, the head teachers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for never failing to make the time out of your busy schedule to meet with the teachers from whichever region of our country. Therefore, we thank you for coming this time to meet this cohort from the Western region who are here for patriotism training and ideological orientation. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate your continuous guidance to the education sector and your availability whenever we call upon you to facilitate our capacity building programs. Before you here today are the frontline managers of our education system who are charged with the responsibility to ensure that our schools function and that our children learn. They make decisions on a daily basis to enable teaching and learning to take place in schools across the country. Therefore, I'm very happy that they are here to acquire additional knowledge and skills and tools to enable them to handle their work effectively, and they strive to serve their country selflessly and contribute positively to national development. Your Excellency, you have always emphasized that one of the bottlenecks to development is an undeveloped human resource, a problem that must be addressed in order for us to attain a knowledgeable, skilled, and patriotic population. Furthermore, Your Excellency, as you are aware, the Minister of Education and Sports is charged with the responsibility for human resource development for our country. So over the years, we have promoted several reform initiatives to ensure that quality education is equitably accessible to all children of Uganda. You have also emphasized the need to have a citizenry that are knowledgeable and that love their country, because this motivates them to commit to do their best for the nation. Consequently, I thank the National Secretariat for Patriotism for promoting patriotic values in schools, and I must now express my gratitude to you for bringing on board head teachers from all regions of Uganda. In order to strengthen the efforts to inculcate patriotic values to our youth through the established patriotism clubs in schools, it is very important that the head teachers are empowered to coordinate these efforts through the school system. We should be able to develop youth who understand the purpose of their existence, who love their country, and are prepared to defend and transform it. I'm therefore pleased that the head teachers have all undergone this mindset change program, and it is my hope and prayer that we will now see the impact of our efforts in our schools. I believe that the head teachers gathered here this afternoon and all those that were trained in the past have now joined the cadre of enlightened citizens who are committed to their national service. We hope that they will aggressively promote the patriotic values of selflessness, of loyalty, responsibility, of discipline, of hard work, resilience, and sacrifice through their own work. To the head teachers, I thank God for each and every one of you. I'm aware of the great job that you are doing in your respective schools amidst the challenges that we all experience. I also congratulate you for successfully completing the academic year 2023, and I believe it's not too late to say Happy New Year to you all. I'd like to remind you that God has entrusted you with the stewardship of the younger generation. And I urge you to be role models for the teachers and the students you nurture in your schools. And they will surely emulate what they see you do more than what they hear you say. Please remember that. Together, slowly but surely, we will build a generation of citizens that are proud of their country and that can inspire those they interact with in their various communities to do the same. Now that this training has covered all the head teachers across the country, I'd like to remind all of you that being patriotic is a constitutional duty. If we inculcate these values within the schools, we will surely have not just very peaceful schools, but very clean schools with green students, with perimeter green fences, so that your schools provide the kind of environment where all parents are proud to take their children. So let me re-emphasize the importance of making every effort to build a culture of patriotism and peaceful coexistence within the schools you manage and the communities that you live in. But patriotism comes at a cost. That means there is extra work that you must be willing to do to show your love for your homeland. For instance, you must be determined to ensure that the school you lead stands out as an example to others, with clean walls, clean students who pass their exams highly. And remember the saying that cleanliness is only next to godliness. Please know that those principles you instill in those young people will live through them to another generation of their own children. That is why teachers should not take their job for granted, because you are co-workers or co-creators with God, and God values you and the work you do because you are molding God's children. Therefore, head teachers are very important leaders, even more because you are the ones who hold the destiny of those schools that have hundreds of young lives in your hands. If you are honest, clean, kind, and hardworking, you will surely pass these values on to those young minds. But if you are corrupt, if you lie to those children, then corruption will catch on like wildfire. Please ensure that your school community cherishes love for one another, peace in the community, selfless service for your country, with hard work, with honesty and accountability. This is where we can introduce the fight against corruption. The corruption begins at that level, at that age. If you start with a fight of corruption in those schools and provide the example for those children to see the head teacher, the teachers who are honest, who do all things right and speak the truth always, they will never know corruption in their lives. Therefore, I pray that as you start the first term of this new year, this year, 2024, will be a year of peace. With the knowledge you have acquired here, we must take the issue of discipline in schools seriously, because it is possible to have peaceful schools. Please be the ambassadors of that peace. Be close to your teachers and students and create a supportive environment. Make it your goal to raise responsible citizens for this country. Furthermore, it is at this time that I must remind you that this is the year that our first cohort in the lower secondary will sit the exams from the new secondary school curriculum at the end of this year. Therefore, both the teachers and the children need your support this year more than ever before. Make the time at school to do everything it will take to ensure that the first exams of the new lower secondary curriculum, with both UNEB and the schools that have prepared, which both UNEB and the schools have prepared for already, will be done properly, and all honor and glory will go to our God. As I conclude now, it is my hope and prayer that what you have learned here will indeed be useful, and its impact will be felt in your schools, within your communities, and across this nation. I wish you all the best of 2024. Finally, let me sincerely commend the Director NALI and his entire administration for always being willing to support the Ministry of Education and Sports, and for your hospitality to all the guests we bring to you. Thank you for your great efforts in training Ugandans and for maintaining NALI as an institute that we are all proud of. Your Excellency, it is now my singular honor to invite you to address these head teachers. I thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
The Honorable Ministers, the Permanent Secretary, the Commissioner, Patriotism, all the staff of Chiankwanzi, and the head teachers who are here for the course. First of all, I want to thank Helen Seku, because she has really resurrected the effort for patriotism, and she has rightly focused on some crucial change agents like you, the head teachers. So I want to thank her. There is a group called Banyankore. Have you heard of those people? Those Banyankore have a proverb which says, I want to congratulate my granddaughter, the head teacher who was struggling with Nyankore. Akati kainwa karkavisi. It means a plant or a stick, a plant or a stick is more easily bent when it is fresh. When it dries, when you try to bend it, it breaks. It's dry. Don't wait for it to dry. That's one of their proverbs, those Banyankore and the other groups from Western Uganda. Now, the other one is Enjerezeire Teri Wambwa, a warthog that has got children. When the dogs come to attack it, then the children of the warthog defend it. So now these grandchildren of the warthog, the Sekus, they are really doing a good job. And if you study Seku carefully, her father is an army officer. I think he must be like a colonel now. What rank is he, your father?
Excellency, he's a lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant colonel. He's an engineer in the army. So you can see now the social group, the new forces, but coming out of the old ones. It is very interesting. So I thank her very much for being very active and very committed and pushing and being frustrated and continuing. I want to thank her very much. Now, according to what Brigadier Kisembo said, I can see you have covered many of the topics. Of course, you people, you are educated people, you are head teachers. You have got masters in this, masters in that. But some of those masters, you may find they are masters in neo-colonialism. Because this is the problem. This is the problem we had in the 1960s. This part of the world is a very old, has got very ancient societies. There were Tembus here, who were here. When there were Tembu, there was a group called Batembuzi, who were ruling this area. Then around 900 AD or thereabout, we got Patriotism, who came and started managing here. Now, those Patriotism had sort of united us. We know about the 900 AD because of the excavation works done at Ntutsi in Zimbabwe and Bigobyamjini. Bigobyamjini is also in Zimbabwe. The archaeologists were able to confirm that those settlements were from 900 AD to about 1350 AD. Unfortunately, that Patrese dynasty, the Patrese, you can know them from their names, from oral history, but also from the names. That's why you find those Patrese names all over the place. In Uganda, in Bunyoro, Ankole, Congo, Tanzania, Bukoba, Karagwe, those names, you will find them there. Names like Isimbwa. Baganda called him Simbwa, but it is the same thing. That was Mtrezi. Then you have like Ndahora. Baganda called him Ndaula. Then you have Mukasa. Mukasa, the Western groups, Banyoro, Banyankwere, called Mukasa Mugasha. Mugasha is the same as Mukasa. Then you have Wamara. You have Chomia. You have Kagoro. All those were Patrese. But when their dynasty collapsed around 1400, we don't know why, we have not studied well why it collapsed, because it had really united this area. Even what is Ankole now, Bunyoro, Toro, Acholi, Buchiri, Puchiri language is called Puchiri, according to our history. These were Busoga, they were all being managed together that time by the Bachwezi. Wamara was the last Mchwezi. Wamara, Rhanja, and Jojebunga. That's how they were his praise names. Now, after that dynasty, then you had these groups which came later. The ones you talk about now, the Kawakas here in Uganda, the Babito in Bunyoro Toro, these groups in Ankole, Abahinda, Ankole, Karagwe, all those Tanzania, those were the Bahinda group. And then the Bashambo from Pororo and Rwanda. So these smaller groups, when they came, they divided the people. And they started fighting among themselves. They started fighting. Wars between Buganda and Bunyoro, Buganda, Ankole, and so on. Rwanda with the Nkole and Pororo. So that period from 1400 to the time when the Europeans came was time of lack of peace. Lack of peace. And when the Europeans came, of course, these kings were not very clever. Because you are teachers, you know a bit, you must know about history. But one reason I cannot forgive these kings is the bankruptcy in their perception. Because, okay, even if you didn't know that unity was crucial when you were by yourselves, but you who study the history of the world, you know that in 1498, a Portuguese man called Vasco da Gama went around the continent of Africa because there's also another story there. You have got your religious people, like Reverend Barinda, who blessed us today, and even you others who are not so religious. You must have heard of the book of the Acts of the Apostles. If you read the book of the Acts of the Apostles, you will find there the journeys of St. Paul. St. Paul, when he was going to spread the gospel, he was going through a country called Asia Minor. Asia Minor. Do we have history teachers here? There are some history people here. Okay, let me see one of them. Come forward. Come. Microphone. Did you hear of Asia Minor?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Where is it?
Asia Minor is in Eastern Europe, Your Excellency.
Is where?
Eastern Europe.
Istanbul. Is Eastern Europe?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Eastern Europe. Yeah, in a way, yes, but where exactly? Another historian who can help him?
Your Excellency, Asia Minor is in the current country of Turkey.
Turkey, yes, very good. Aveo, head teacher. Who are you? Introduce yourself. And the other one who had come to help me, introduce yourselves.
My name is Karohogo Yafes Ntungwa, the head teacher at Chabenda SS in the Kamwenje district. Chabenda SS.
Chabenda Ntungwa.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Sechiziv Hamza. I'm the teacher of Highways Chiganda and the coordinator for Patriotism KASANDA District Secretariat. Thank you so much.
Amanya?
Sechiziv Hamza.
Sechiziv Hamza.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So, Ntungwa has helped us. What was being called Asia Minor in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, where places like Ephesus, you remember Ephesus? Ephesus, Galatia, and those places where they are, is now Turkey. And then in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, you will get places like Corinth, then you get places like Thessalonica, and so on. Those are now in Greece. So St. Paul was going through those areas. Now at that time, those areas were occupied by different people. In fact, even me, I have not found out which people were there. Were they Greeks? Were they, what sort of people were there? But what happened is that in 1453 AD, a new group of people came from Central Asia and captured that area. And these people who came were Muslims and Turkish. So when they captured it was called, the main city there was called Constantinople. But it is now called Istanbul, Turkey. So when they captured it, you remember in your history, there was another fellow called Marco Polo. Did you hear of that fellow? That Marco Polo was somebody, I think he was from Italy. He had walked on foot up to China and back and opened a trade route, which you hear the president of China now referring to as the Silk Road, the road along which silk was being transported from the east to the west, and spices. So the Europeans had come to depend on that route. So when the Turkish captured Constantinople, they blocked that route. So the Europeans could not go to Eastern Europe. That's how they started looking for another way to Eastern Europe without going through Istanbul. And there was the huge continent of Africa in the middle. They were now looking for a sea route to the east. This effort was led by the Portuguese, who arrived at what is now Sierra Leone around 1472. By 1482, a Portuguese man called Diego Cama, a Portuguese man called Diego Cama, got to where Angola is now. 1487, another Portuguese man called Bartholomew Diaz got to Cape Town, Cape of Good Hope. That's why he called it the Cape of Good Hope, because he saw, Africa is so huge. It is from latitude, I think, 37 north up to latitude 30 something south. To cover the whole length of it, you go through almost 80 latitudes. You, the teachers of geography, you know latitudes and longitudes. So Bartholomew Diaz in 1487 was able to see that the coast of Africa appeared to be turning east, because all the time it was north-south, north-south, and south-south. Africa ergoyodi. Now, in 1487, Bartholomew Diaz saw the coast turning east. That's why he called Cape Town the Cape of Good Hope. The hope to go around Africa by sea. Now, in 1498, on Christmas Day, another Portuguese man called Vasco da Gama went around the Cape of South Africa and landed at a place called Natal. Natal is from a Latin word meaning to be born, nativity, because you were there on Christmas Day. Now, this is where I have a problem with the kings. You kings, you are busy fomenting wars among us, between Bunyoro and Buganda, Buganda and Bunyoro, Buganda and Ankole, Ankole and Rwanda. You are doing that. Maybe you are doing it because you are ignorant. You didn't know the wider world. But after Vasco da Gama, because when he went around the South African coast, he came through the East African coast, attacked Mombasa, and went on to India. So, information was coming from the coast that, there are new, strong people who are coming. Bazungu are coming. These people were called Bazungu from Swahili, because when they go to the East African coast, the people there asked them, where are you going? And they said, tunazunguka. We are going round. Then those people said, these are Bazungu. Kuzunguka in Swahili means to go round. So, even if you are ignorant, but you now hear that new people have come, why would you not get common sense and say, let us get together? You Nkole, you Bunyoro, you Buganda, you Rwanda, instead of fighting, let's get together and prepare ourselves. But no, they were not interested. They were busy fighting among themselves. You can check from 1498, when Vasco da Gama passed by the East African coast, to 1862, when the first white man came here. I had calculated some time ago, I think it is like 370 years. You can calculate it. How many years from 1498 to 1862, when Huntington Speke came here? It is 307, almost 400 years. Danger is coming. You are hearing about it, but you are doing nothing about it. So, the Europeans came and conquered this whole place. I think you must have studied this in the political history. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized. And when they came, they had now because between 1400 and 1900, we had the problem of the kings making us fight among ourselves instead of uniting us. When the Europeans came and conquered them, they came and captured them like grasshoppers because they were busy fighting one another. They tried to fight, but it was too late. Kabarega, Mwanga, and even the other kings in South Africa, they tried, they couldn't, because they had divided our people. They talk about technology, but technology of the European that time was not really very advanced. In Ethiopia, the Ethiopian king Menelik defeated the Italians. In 1896, he defeated them. So if they had been united and more organized, even with spears and arrows, they could have defeated those guns, because the guns of that time were not that efficient. So the main problem was division. And if you see, the army which captured Kabarega was not a European army. Europeans were very few. It was Baganda being used by the British who were doing most of the work. It was African on African fight. It was the Europeans were just the mobilizers. So therefore, between 1400 and 1900, you have the problem of the tribalism fomented by the kings. Now, when the Europeans capture the whole of Africa, they now bring a new poison, the poison of religious conflict. Because you people who have studied history, European history, you know the problems of Europe. The religious conflicts there, Catholics, Protestants, fighting in what they were calling the 30 Years' War, the war with the Muslims, the Crusades. So now we had the poison of the kings making us fight along tribal lines and clan lines and so on. Now you had a new poison of religious conflict. You can imagine, you can check this on your phones. The first Church of Uganda people came here in 1877. The Catholic, Roman Catholic group came in 1879. By 1890, our people were fighting religious wars. Can you imagine? In 10 years. But I'm so good because of religion. You, of 10 years, you don't even know what it means. You had start fighting among yourselves. So that problem also was now added. So you had now two problems. You had sectarianism of tribes, which the kings had left, and now you had additional sectarianism of religious groups. And that's how, and in the colonial times, the two poisons were there. That's how now the NRM comes on the scene. In the 1860s, early 60s, as a student group. So when we come, we say, what Kisembo was telling you here, that one of the topics you covered was forces that cause social change. and this is what I want you really to get very clearly. What are the forces that cause social change? How does society come to change from one level to another level? And this one you study in a study we call political economy. Not politics, not history, not what sociology, but what political economy. Political economy is the study of the laws that govern the motion and changes in society. And when you do that, things will be much easier for you. Now, when we studied political economy of the human race, because the human race, remember, has been here for 4.5 million years. We have been here for 4.5 million years. And the human being started here in Africa. Now, the human being is the main agent of change in society. Why? Because the human being has got 3 characteristics from other creatures. He has got a superior brain, a brain which thinks and reasons. He has got a hand which works, which can hold things and tools. And he stands on 2 legs. He's bipedal. He's not like the reptile whose head is always in the grass. If your head is in the grass, when do you have time to think and see far? So the human being, and here you link with the Bible. That's why for us we say, those who say there's a difference between the story of science and the Bible story, it's not true. Because even in the book of Genesis, which Barinda was quoting, it says that God created man on Saturday, after he had created all those insects and frogs and all those, and he told man, establish dominion over nature. Meaning man is the one to influence the rest and manage the rest of the creatures. So because of that, man was facing now one problem. He was created, he was here, or he had evolved, and but he was facing a lot of problems. Floods, drought, disease, wild animals. All these were problems to man. But because of his ability to think and to do things, he was able to develop tools, quickly develop tools. Initially, stone tools. If you go there in the villages, you ask me, because me, I am an ancient person of this area. If you go in the villages, you will find the tools there. Orubengo, that's a stone tool. Orubengo, a grinding stone. A seiso is a stone tool. The other small one, we don't even have them in English. Enkurungu, yokonda, the one for crushing things. Eshekuru, the one of a wooden mortar. Omuhini, the one for shekura. Echuzo, the one for threshing. You can mention Ichuba for watering cows. So the ability of man to make tools and use tools to do work is what eventually made man to improve his way of life. Now, 1.5 million years ago, man invents fire. You can imagine from 4.5 million years ago, up to 1.5 million years ago, there's some different dates, but it was the wrong time. Man did not know how to make fire. But when he learned how to make fire, before making fire, the human beings were in the trees. We are tree dwellers. Because the trees were safer. If you want to run away from the wild animals, you stay in the trees. But they are not comfortable. The rain, the cold, the insects, they all eat you there. But when he invented fire, he was able to go from the trees and become on land here and light fire and scare away the wild animals. And also go in the caves. In the caves, because with fire now you can light, you can see, you can warm, you can chase the snakes out of the caves. So man came from the trees where he was using arms mainly to move around, what is called brachiators. Those animals which move by their arms are called brachiators. He was able to come from being a brachiator to being a bipedal, an animal mainly walking on two legs. So therefore you can see now what is the stimulus that causes change in society. It is the development of science and technology. If science and technology advances, society will also change. Example, the invention of fire. How it revolutionized society from being tree dwellers to come ground-based dwellers and even cave dwellers. And you can go and quote other examples. The Europeans were able to conquer us because they had invented gunpowder. They had also learned how to make quinine, because initially they couldn't survive here because of the malaria. But when they learned how to make quinine from the South Americans, they were able now to use it to defend themselves against malaria. Then eventually they invented a train to be able to move, steam engine. So science was making them stronger and were becoming weaker. So therefore, in order to grasp the crucial issues about social change, you must understand that it is called the first law of sociology, which means the necessary conformity between the advance of science and concomitant changes in society. So therefore, I'm very glad that you have been exposed, and you can go example by example, example by example, example by example. Culture, even everything will change, even culture. Like our old culture of the Waganda, or the Wanyankole, the way they greet. You meet a Muganda woman, she kneels on the road, Now, how would you do that when you are in cars? You wave. That's how you say, Jambo, Jambo, Jambo now. You don't have time for that elaborate, because you can see that elaborate way of greeting was based on pedestrian life. When people were walking on foot, that's how they could have time to do this. So therefore, I'm glad that you have been exposed to political economy from what Sembo was saying. Now, Once you have covered that, then the next question is, what are the historical missions? What are the historical missions? Turuwa no bakukora ki? We are here to do what? When we got independence, what was independence for? Independence should have had 3 aims. Number 1, prosperity. Prosperity. Do you want us to be prosperous or not? If you want everybody to be prosperous, how would that be? Now, in order for us to be prosperous in a modern way, they must have told you that each adult person had to learn how to produce a good or a service and sell it. You are teachers, you are providing a service of teaching. And the more people that learn from you, the more useful you become. But like the Banyankore and the other tribes in the West, you have cows, you have banana plantations. So in order for you to be prosperous, you'll be able to sell the milk, sell the beef, sell the bananas, sell the other things you have. But when within Ankole, I have cows, my neighbor has cows. I have bananas, my neighbor has bananas. Therefore, my neighbor cannot buy from me, nor can I buy from him. Why? Because we have got similar products. So how shall we get prosperity? If Ankole is cut off alone, how shall we get prosperity? Who are the people who buy the products of the Banyankore? If you study carefully, you'll find that the people who buy those products are the people of Kampala. They are the ones who buy the milk, who buy the beef, who buy the bananas. So therefore, this means that the prosperity of the Banyankore depends more on Uganda than within the Banyankore alone. Within the Banyankore, where they contribute to one another's prosperity, that they produce the same product. We all produce milk, so there's a lot of milk in this area, and marketing is easier because it's a big quantity. Same with beef, same with bananas, same with tea, same with coffee. But in terms of buying from one another, it's not so much. So, that's why you now come to the principles of NRM. If my prosperity is depending on the people from Kampala to buy my milk, to buy my beef, to buy my bananas, that means I need Uganda. In addition to my own area, Uganda is very crucial for me. So that's why, therefore, NRM, after analysis, we said, oh, you people are telling you about tribes, about religion, but this is a trap. You are going to die in poverty forever. What will help you to get out of poverty is Uganda. Because Uganda will help you to buy your products more than your own area. That's why, therefore, principle number 1 is patriotism. love Uganda. Why love Uganda? Because you need it. And you can go and analyze. Look at their choices. They all produce simsim. This one is producing simsim. The neighbor is producing simsim. This cannot buy from the other one. The other one cannot buy from the other one. So who buys the simsim? People of Kampala. If you go to Busoga, barikulima ebikado. Bona barikulima ebikado. Waiswa arikulima ebikado. Omusogo mulala arikulima ebikado. So who buys from the other one? So therefore, when you analyze, you'll find that our prosperity depends more on Uganda than our respective tribal areas. And if somebody comes and says, we are this tribe, we are this tribe, you should know that that person is an enemy of that tribe first and foremost. Because if that tribe was not part of Uganda, it would not be prosperous. So this is principle number one. I'm sure they explained this to you, but there's no harm in me as a summary repeating it. But secondly, as we settle down and produce more and more and more, we find that the internal market of Uganda is not enough. That's why we talk of the market of East Africa, the market of Africa. And that now takes us to principle number 2, Pan-Africanism. But how will you benefit from all this if you still remain in the old ways? Because I was born in Ntungamo, and by 1960, we were there in Ntungamo, only working for eating. We had cows, we had banana plantations, potatoes, and all that, but all of them for home consumption. Very little for the market. We are still in Okora Echida Chonka, as they say in one of the tribes in the east, Bagwere. Bagwere say Okora Echida Chonka. The other day, some years ago, I stopped at a place called Kagamba. Kagamba is on the way to Rashamiri. And I found a young woman there harvesting millet. I asked her, what are you going to do with the millet? She said, the Okuganuza is to take the first crop to your father-in-law. So that was her mission. Has no issue of prosperity. Her issue was Okuganuza Ishezar. Now, that pre-capitalist mentality, that pre-money mentality, the mentality of people before the onset of money is very dangerous for our people. I went to a place called Ndangaro. It's a parish called Ndangaro in Rubirizi. Do you have somebody from Rubirizi? Huh? You come. Umunyaruguru. Now, this was some years ago. I went to Umunyaruguru, Rubirizi. Got the microphone. I went to Rubirizi, this parish called Ndangaro. You are from where?
Rubirizi.
Which area?
Ndeche.
Ndeche?
Yes.
So that it will be in Ndangaro?
Ndangaro is in Rutoto, Sabo County.
Is the neighboring parish?
Yes.
Okay. How are they now? You wait a bit, let me give my testimony first. So when I went to Ndangaro, I was told that there were 2,500 500 homesteads in Ndangaro. All of them were democratically poor. They were all working for the stomach, only for eating, except only one man called Kateva, who had 7 pigs. He was the rich one. Then I realized, and the area is very fertile, so fertile, so fertile. So what is the situation now in Ndangaro, if you know them?
The situation has changed.
Huh?
The situation has changed. When you came there, people changed.
Mhm.
And that Ndangaro, as a parish, is a model.
Getting near the...
Ndangaro, as a parish, is a model. When you came and educated them, people changed. And the PDM is helping them. They have changed totally.
Oh, Katonda yebaziwe. Thank you so much.
And now,
But would you have the data how many homesteads? Because that time there were 2,500.
I will make a research, Mr. President.
Thank you. When you go back, you do research.
And Kateva is one of the richest because he doubled those pigs. And he's giving people other.
He has now got more pigs and so on.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Welcome.
You understand? Then there is another parish called Rwengaju. Rwengaju is a parish in Kabarore. Is there somebody who knows Rwengaju? Rwengaju parish. Anybody who knows Rwengaju? Huh? The girl of the Chenjojo. This is another one.
I'm from Kabarole, Your Excellency.
Get near the microphone.
From Kabarole district.
Do you know Rwengaju?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll give you my testimony of Rwengaju. I visited Kabarole, and they had a chairman called Kayonga. Kayonga could speak. Speak. I said, but you people, I want to go and see wealth creators who are earning income. But they spend so much time in the district council talking about the roads, about what? Then in the afternoon, like around 3, they took me to a place called Chembogo. Chembogo is like a stock farm. Huh?
Yes.
It's a stock farm, a government stock farm. Then they showed me nice maize there. To Tokorora and Kahana. Then I said, whose maize is this? They said, never sure we are government. We are government. But I'm not looking for government things. I want people. Then they said, Haroho Mnyoro Kabagambi. Did you know Kabagambi?
No, Your Excellency.
Haroho Mnyoro Kabagambi. I said, okay, let's go and see Mnyoro Kabagambi. So we went.
His Excellency, Reverend Balinda, also, as he works in Nyakasura School, which is in Fort Portal City,
okay,
knows that place or a little more than my young sister. I know Munyoro Kabagambe very well.
Is he still alive?
The father died, the Mzee died, but the sons are there.
Oh,
very
okay.
dynamic.
Okay. So when I went to Kabagambe, I said, let's go and see Kabagambe. So we went. We found he was there. He was actually not a villager. He was like a former agricultural assistant. He was educated. And I said, what are you selling? Nintunda amata. Amata, how many liters? Lita makumiana. I said, okay. Hata abantu abakusana newe mu rukaguno gwa Rwengaju. People who are like you in Rwengaju parish, which had 1,500 people, homes. How many are they? Wasobora kuba nka musanju. There may be 7. So I really quarreled with those people. You can imagine, 2,500 in Dangaro, only Kateba had 7 pigs. Here, 1,500, only Avantum Sanju, only 7 who have. So the concept of socio-economic transformation, which is point number 3, is of the NRM, is that everybody must get out of the traditional way to the modern way of money making with the Chivaro. So what is the situation now in Rengaju and those in the
His Excellency, Rengaju now is a model village. Very many households have transformed economically. The Kabagambe family is a model family because all the sons have taken on agriculture, and recently in the newspapers when they were publishing the best farmers,
they were among them.
They were among them.
Thank you so much. So therefore, principle number 3 of the NRM, in order to benefit from the patriotic market of Uganda, in order to benefit from the Pan-Africanist market of Africa, which we are always working on, you must undergo socio-economic transformation at the society level, at the homestead level. That's why principle number 3 of the NRM is socio-economic transformation. Patriotism, love Uganda. Why love Uganda? Because you need it. Number 2, Pan-Africanism, love Africa. Why love Africa? Because you need it. But number 3, you cannot love and benefit from Africa if you do not undergo transformation, become a new person. Now, number 4 is democracy. Finally, the issue of socio-economic transformation. How do I socially, economically transform myself, my family? We tell you there are 4 addresses where you can socially transform yourselves. They are called sectors. Sector number 1, agriculture, commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. I don't have time to go into that, but I'm sure they will have explained it to you. Sector number 1 socio-economic transformation is commercial agriculture with the Chivaro. Number 2, manufacturing. Number 3, services like this one of teaching, medical. Those are services. Transport, hotels. And number 4, ICT. Now, finally, for you as intellectuals, as educated people, as change makers, you come to issues like salary of this, salary of that. For us, we have been advising you that whatever you do must be organically linked. The state cannot be able to pay good salaries if there is no socio-economic transformation. Because you see, if the families undergo socio-economic transformation, some families are in agriculture, some are in manufacturing, some are in services. They create jobs, and people get income and sell. When they sell, they are able to pay taxes. When they are able to pay taxes, the government gets more money. The government is able to do infrastructure, deal with peace and security, and also pay pay salaries to public servants. But how will it pay salaries, good salaries, if there is no socio-economic transformation? Where does it get money from? That's why we, like some of us, who are fighting from 1971 up to 1987. All that time we were fighting for no pay. Nobody was paying us. Who was there to pay us? But we knew that even if we are not paid ourselves, even if we die, if Uganda stabilizes and grows, even when we are dead, those people will be there, will say, ebisajja ebiri byalwanira bwereere katuweereza akasiima bazzukulu baabwe. They will remember us. But if Uganda becomes like a Somalia and collapses, who will remember us, whether we live or die? So that's why we had the confidence to say, let's fight for nothing. Even if we die, if we succeed, the new generations will remember our children. We shall save Uganda. Uganda will be saved. Now, when we took over government, we were earning small salaries for a long time. Up to now, me, I earn a small salary. They said, President, I earn 3.6 million. I deduct 20% for NRM. So Mama Janet on her account, she gets 2.7 million. That is the salary of the president. They were saying, no, you must be like you, like where. I said, no. I will not accept high salary. Now, I cannot. Because it is self-deception. High salary from where? Let the economy grow fast. When I'm already dead, the rich Uganda would say, this man worked for very little. Let's give something to his children. So that's why, therefore, this kind of ideology is very crucial. Because when you are not clear, you get lost. You fight things which are not realistic. And that's why they fail. Now, recently, I was in a small war with you, the teachers, led by a man called Baguma. You know Baguma? There's a gentleman called Baguma. In my Chiekera way, because we the Yekera, we go, kamwe go Muganda. Akwate mpola akoraki? Bugusiki? Yonkola yaffe abayekera. Now, when we started getting a bit of money, we got a bit of money now. I said, let us pay the scientists well. All the time you're trying to get out. You're only paying the scientists, only. Are we not also educated? I say, yes, you're educated. But when we're in the hospital, we look for the midwife. Doesn't mean the midwife is the most important person in the whole of society. At that very moment, the midwife is the one most needed. So these scientists, we need them immediately now. Because we are making roads, they need engineers. We are building factories, they need mechanical engineers. We are doing this, we need health medical doctors. Vet, we are talking of vet, PDM, what, we need, immediately we need them now. I studied arts, I'm a person of arts. I studied literature. I can tell you what Shakespeare said, what he was, fix this bridge. I cannot come with my Shakespeare and fix it. So that's why we say, Banange, Tumekukayana. kana akatano akaliwo katikaweereza ono atukolera olutindo. The bridge will produce other things, and we shall eventually all be paid. So this is really the logic. But when people are not clear ideologically, they will not understand all this. Everybody is me now, me now, me now. And in the end, you fail. So I am very glad that these courses are going on. I thank Seku again for these courses. From your testimony, I can see that you benefited, and I congratulate you. It is now my honor to commission you to do what? What do I do, Seku? To pass them out. I pass you out.
Thank you very much, Jaja. Yes, I believe these teachers are going to preach the right gospel. Your Excellency, allow me to recognize the RDC of Ntungamo, Kadam Chungzi Godfrey, who's present. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations once again. A message from Dr. Charles Chisembo says his restaurant is very active. We shall not travel in the night. You will stay back for bull roasting and cocktail, courtesy of the doctor. The buses shall leave at 6 in the morning. And also, Judge has given you something, some airtime to just appreciate your effort and for being resilient, for having been here for the last 2 weeks. Thank you, Jaja. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rise up for the anthems in reverse order. Then Michael MC will take charge.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for gracing this occasion. What is left on our agenda, as earlier on requested by the Commissioner Patriotism Corps, is having a photo of opportunity with the various groups that are here. Not to delay, we shall have Babalanda, Haj Kakande, the Director, National Leadership Institute, and the RDC Chankwanzi. Of course, not leaving out the Commissioner, National Secretariat of Patriotism Clubs.